I'm not normal. I do not want to be. I do not pretend to be what I mean myself. My name is Seow. I'm dyslexic. I don't really prepare myself well for this talk, but I see a lot of people which their face shows that, a lot of worry and concerns over dyslexic. Yes, wait till you know that me and my sister failed primary 6 at one go. My sister took primary 6 2 times, and the third time she failed, there she go out of school, and I failed my primary 6 2 times. As a student, I always been seen as lazy, stupid, and furthermore, I come from a very poor family. I'm 12 years younger than our friends there. During our time, dyslexia is not so well known and not recognized, and I always been seated at the corner of the classroom, and when my brain goes somewhere else, I used to receive chalks and duster that throw at me just to make sure that I pay attention. And I was always given nicknames, stupid, last time we used to learn Malay called Bodo, I'm one of them. My teacher simply treat me very badly because I can't spell and I fear my maths from P2. That means in 1968, I'm P2. I fear up to today, I still fear my maths. I can't tell much about figures, statistics, and I don't know much of interest rate, and I don't manage my money. In general, I have to get outsourced people like external auditors, accounts people, and my wife that to help me to get everything right for me, and my life is easy. I just sign. I tell them, do not judge my past because that's over. I just got a feeling that, my family have dyslexic genes in our family. My brother is dyslexic, but he managed to pull through. Finally, he got a degree. My sister failed his primary 6 3 times, and till today, her higher qualification is primary 6. I'm a little bit lucky. I failed my primary 6 2 times. I failed my Sec 2 1 time, and they pushed me up to attend Sec 3. I managed to pass my Sec 4. We barely passed, and I got my full cert. And from there on, even though I attended diplomas in commercial law, econs, accountings, most of them I get a fail. During that time, because of private students, when you fail 3 times, the lecturer tends to give chance to those people who couldn't make it. And I'm sure that they give me the chance. And I managed to get a full cert. I have to thank this gentleman, which is spotted my problem 11 years ago. And I get confirmations approximately 11 years ago, which is I was finally diagnosed with a certificate to confirm that my reading is 2 upon 10. It's that bad. When I look at the newspaper, I don't read. I look at a picture and I listen to news, and I'm expecting my wife to tell me what's happening on the incidents reported in the news. That's how bad it is. Many of them laugh at me that, we dyslexic, and I always laugh at them. This is how I laugh at them. In Chinese, they say, 报仇, In English, they say they take revenge and laugh at them in return. Because we are different. Our mind, our brain, our wired are all differently, and we see things different. I know that dyslexic, there's some disadvantage, but the thing is we see different things. For me, I see something in very different directions, and later on you see what I see in the picture. I always laugh at them because they are all the same, nothing new, boring. I look at myself, hey, I got something different. So I always think that, dyslexia is a minus point, not a big deal. It won't kill us, but we will know what we are going to do. That's not the end of the world. We will find ways, and in general, because of we are dyslexic, so we have to find way to survive, so we have to force ourselves to look beyond the norm. That's why sometimes we are considered as creative. I created all this thing, which is, my wife gave a slogan, say we design locally, we play globally. So we are trying to create something which is so-called Singaporean. Because I was born in Singapore, I get old in Singapore, and the day will die, I die in Singapore. Understand me as dyslexic, and I'm not like an ordinary world. I have my madness. Madness is the keywords. I live in another dimensions, and I do not have time to think, the time for things that have no soul. So we always think very differently. I remember when I'm going proctologist time, watch video or watch cinema show, halfway through I lost my focus. And this is how, as a dyslexic, people think, the way they think. We have a different way of understanding certain things, very different from ordinary people. This is interesting to many dyslexic. Look at it and you can see. My life is so much more interesting inside my head. Because we think differently. So I can look at you, but when I smile at you, do not know why am I smiling, because I was thinking something wild, Yes. I think dyslexic people might know. But if you are ordinary, unfortunately, you don't enjoy the thing that we enjoy. Norman, yes. My mind not only wanders, sometimes it lives completely, because we are always not ourselves, because we think and our brain go all the way up, and when I see quarrel, so when I see people quarrel, I can foresee immediately, almost instant, in a split of seconds, I can see that 3 of them fight, and 1 of them lie down on the floor. We dyslexic people, not only me, we are so fast. Sometimes I pretend to be normal, but it gets boring. So I get back to be me, myself. And we dyslexic people always laugh at ordinary people, and we just tell that you are normal, I'm special. You will never find another me. Not sure if it's a good thing or bad, but it is true. Many dyslexic people, I would say that we don't call ourselves proud because we think very differently and we think much faster than ordinary person. In fact, I lost my focus. I'm supposed to talk about my story. In general, I do my thoughts and my behavior is very different, and I always see things very differently. Resulted that many people couldn't understand people like us dyslexic. In general, I think dyslexic is much more creative than others, ordinary person. I am given limited time, so I reserve some time for my wife to talk about how much she suffered with a dyslexic man like me. Ken? Yeah? Thank you. Oh, one more thing. Let me finish all the slides first. Sometimes I listen to a stranger's conversations. The mentor gives me my opinion. Because we intercept, we jump, we didn't follow the normal sequence. And that's the best of being a dyslexic.
Good afternoon. My name is Carrie. So I come here to support my husband and to support DAS. So I was volunteered. I was in Vietnam, and I've got a call from him, and he volunteered me to come here. So I don't have any slide, actually. But today I'm here to just share my story with you. So just to give you some context, we were married for 24 years, and then we are business partner for 14 years. So you only have 7 minutes of him, but I had 24 years old. Okay, yeah. So yes, we are business partners. So we started our own company. So we supply a lot of educational toys to schools. So he's the creative mind behind it. So whatever he doesn't like to do, then it falls under my jurisdiction. So that's easy for him. So what I'm going to do is that I wanted to show you, to share with you, maybe time allows, two incidents that happened recently. So it's there was a day on a Sunday, so I was at home watching TV, CSI Marathon and all that. And then I got a text from him. What's wrong with Google, I was thinking, okay, so what's wrong with Google, such a big company. And then he sent another text very quickly and said, I can't find you, So with his dyslexic mind, when he say one thing, I have to know the rest of the story. He speaks in very big picture, so I have to plug in a lot of, the missing bits. So I know that he couldn't Google me. He wanted to Google me and the company so that he can forward to our new business customers and all that. So I said, my details are there, so I Google myself, Yeah, I'm still there, so, So there's no need to tell him that, So what I did was to quickly tell him, thank goodness for technology. So I said, can you screenshot, okay? He was in the office alone, so I said, can you screenshot what you saw on the screen and send it to me? Guess what? He spelled my name wrongly. And that was just last year. So this is one of those incidents. So another incident is when we go overseas, so recently, so went through the customs, and then we were in Changi Terminal. So the normal thing for us to do is that then I'll tell him, okay, I'm going shopping, okay, and I'll meet you at the gate. Okay, that's the normal, that's what we always do. So, and then very shortly, I received a text from him. He said, hey, I'm outside the gate. There's a coffee place here. Okay, so do you want to come and join me for coffee? So he screenshot and all that. So I said, okay, B13, gate B13, somewhere there. So, okay, so I just went and joined him, found him, okay, and then sat down, had coffee. And where I was sitting, I could actually see the gate, B13. I said, hey, what's happening? The gate was all dark and all that. And you say, hey, we should be going there, but the gate was dark. And he was saying, hey, no worry, it's just 2 minutes walk away. So it's half an hour later, nobody went to the gate. So, okay, trouble, I know. So I took out my boarding pass. It was D13, and you know how Changi Airport is the AB is one side, and then the CD is on the other side, right? So it's ran like crazy, and then you know how they announce your name, report to the gate immediately. Yeah, so these are the things that I do face, and sometimes I wish that I wish I could preempt the permutations or the possibilities that how things might come as a challenge at times, but I can never do that because every day is very different. So even when in the office when we are working with staff, so a lot of time the staff would tell me that he wants them to do X, for example, to do a job X. I look at it and say no, he wanted you to do X, Y, Z. They won't believe me, They say, no, but he say X. I said, no, you try it. You do X, Y, Z. So this is the kind of sort of interception I have to go in because I truly understand what he says. Okay, maybe I should speak to the wives of the rest and see if we face the same as well. Right? Is that correct? So, I mean, these are some of the challenges that we face. And each time I meet Debbie, I can Deborah, I can tell you different stories. I never repeat my incidents or stories. And it's like we'll be meeting every year, year after year, it's a different stories. So I suppose that's what makes it more interesting. And we have, I have my little ways of communicating. So certain things when I tell him, I give it in small bites, and I have to dissect it. And whereas when he tells me things, he gives me a very, very big picture. So I have to unplug it and then put it back again for the rest of my staff or rest of people who's communicating with him. Okay, so this is just two of the incidents. So in conclusion, I actually want to read out just a passage or maybe 2 paragraphs from the book, from the part that I've written in the book. Hold on, let me just find the page. Get this book. Okay. I wrote it maybe about 2 years ago. So I read it again last night. And it's still relevant. It's still relevant, which I want to read it and share with you. So until this day, he will still misspell even the simplest of words. He also has difficulty with long words. I eventually became, and still am, his personal spell checker, vetting through every important email and document that he drafts. He still shouts for help across the room if he needs me to spell a word for him. So through the years, dyslexia has shaped the way we communicate. I do not receive long love letters or poems from him. Instead, he designs novel toys and dedicates them to me. Okay. I now see that I have been selfish and intolerant. I can't draw, I can't visualize in 3D, I can't sing, I can't play any musical instruments, I don't excel in sports. But it didn't matter to him. He didn't think me as being any less intelligent. There was never a time that he would say, you have to be able to draw, or by now you should have perfected at least one musical instrument if you have practiced every day. Not once did he criticize me for my lack of creativity. I added this line today. I say, why should I then criticize him for his spelling mistakes? Okay. In my eyes, he's just a non-speller. To me, more importantly, he is an extremely creative person, a driven entrepreneur, and a man with amazing tenacity. I'm proud of him because I know many of his accomplishments have been very hard-won, and these are his gifts that have richly blessed my kids and children and myself. Thank you.
I want to add one thing. Nowadays with technology, I used to draft my letters in the words form with a grammar check, spelling check, I cut and paste, and put in the email, and then I send it out. So technology helped. Thank you.